Hi, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live. So today the topic is 5 quick questions that I'm going to ask you, kind of like a real coaching conversation. And these questions are designed to just help you think about your life in a different way. I want you to experience even a little tiny bit what it's like to coach. And so I wanted to talk about why coaching. And I've written a little blog post, so you'll see me, I'll keep glancing at the screen because I've got my notes on the screen there. But when I think about one of the most valuable things about having a coach, and that is that chance to have some space to think and to understand what really are your perspectives, what really is important to you. And usually a great coach is excellent at listening. And they're also really good at asking you questions that you've never thought about before, or you've never thought about them in that way before. And so there you have it. That's why I thought, what am I going to do for my weekly Facebook Live this week? And I thought, let's just see if we can have a little mini coaching session. So the video itself won't be very long, but what I recommend that you do is that you put it on your phone, you start it playing on your phone, and then I'll ask you a question. I'm going to give you some thoughts about it from my perspective, and then go ahead and pause the video and answer the question for yourself. Yeah, sure, you can think about how you want to answer it, and that's just fine. You can do that. Or even better would be if when you pause that video, if you can take out a journal or a piece of paper and write your answers. The best way for you to understand how you really think about something is to get it out of your mind. Now, when you're working one-on-one with a coach, talking about it in front of somebody else gets it out of your mind. It's different than thinking about it. So talking about it will work, writing about it will work, but it's the act of knowing what you really think and then deciding how you want to change how you think. So sometimes those thoughts might really serve you, and other times not so much. So it's up to you to decide, is this the kind of thought that I love to have? Does it make my life better or not? So let me just talk a little bit more here before we dive into these questions that I've got for you. So I want you to understand why thoughts are important, and how we think about things affects how we feel. It changes our emotions. So the thoughts that are running through our head all day, every day, those are the things that are primarily driving our emotions about our life, about our situation, how we interpret things. And then how we feel about those things, that makes us act or hide. It makes us go towards something or avoid. So when you're thinking thoughts that are constructive, you're going to take more inspired action. When you're thinking thoughts that aren't the ones that serve you really well, you're going to maybe hide, you're going to procrastinate, who knows, but maybe not taking the action that you really want to take. So your thoughts create your feelings, and your feelings create your actions. And then the result of all of that is your life, the results that you have. So when you know your thoughts, you can have far better control over how fulfilling your life is. So I just wanted to run that by you. Lots of people, you don't really think about your thoughts as something that happens in our head. We think that our thoughts are reality, and our thoughts are not entirely reality. Our thoughts can be changed, and the more that we are conscious of our thoughts, the more that we can choose how to think differently. So let me dive in here. I want to ask you the first question. And again, if you're using this as a little mini coaching session, great. I am so pleased to hear that. And I'd love to see in the comments where you're watching this from and what is your favorite question and what are you learning from these questions, right? So let's start with the first question. What is it that really matters to you right now? What truly, truly matters to you? Now, if you're taking this as a little mini coaching session, pause the video here and think about it. Write your own answers. And let me just tell you my immediate thoughts about it. When I think about what really matters to you right now, I want you to think that when you know what really matters, then you know what your priorities are, right? And when you know what your priorities are, you know what you want to say yes to more of. You know what you want to do more of, who you want to have more of in your life, and what you want to maybe say no to. Maybe the thing that you want to sort of shift away from. So it helps you set your priorities. It also helps you know what is really satisfying. So that's a couple of reasons why this question is important. But what about you? Why and what really matters to you? Take some time to answer it. Okay, I'm going to assume that you've paused and you have come back and joined me again. So question number two. What do you need to stop thinking or saying to yourself? So how do you talk to yourself? What do you say to yourself when you're looking in the mirror? What do you say to yourself as you walk by a storefront and you see your reflection? How do you talk to yourself when you make a mistake? Are you kind and you give yourself the benefit of the doubt and say, next time I'll get it better? You know what? I'm not that great with this yet, but I'm practicing. Do you talk like that to yourself? Or do you say to yourself, you know what? I know you can do this. I know that you're improving. You're doing great. Or do you say to yourself, I can't believe that. How come you still can't get that right? So what is that inner voice saying to you? How do you think about yourself? And how do you think about the world? So when you have that context around, I'd encourage you to pause the video here and say to yourself, what do you need to stop thinking or saying to yourself? Now, I'm not encouraging you to come up with a big, long list of things. I want you to come up with one or two common thoughts that you think to yourself that you'd like to shift. You can't do everything in one day, but you can take small, measurable steps, and every one of those small steps you take will help you grow into a more fulfilled person because, again, you're getting those thoughts out of your head onto the paper and then deciding, do I really want to talk to myself like that? What else could I say to myself? How could I reframe how I talk to myself? And then go and practice those couple of new thoughts and see how you feel. Okay, so now let's go on to question number 3. So question number 3, where is life asking you to step up? Yeah, I want to know what is happening for you. Where could you be absolutely amazing? Where do you have this little bit of a dream that you would love to do and you're maybe a bit nervous? Where is life asking you to step up? Is it maybe to introduce yourself to somebody that you've always wanted to meet and chat with? Is it maybe you're going to apply for a promotion? Maybe you're going to try something different. Maybe you're going to take a class in something. Who knows? Maybe you always wanted to paint and now you've got that magazine in front of you and you can see, I could take that class on Thursday night, beginner's painting. Where is your life asking you to step up? And I want you to know that all these things that are on your someday list, right? You know what your someday list is. It's that list that you say, yeah, someday I'm going to go do that. Someday I'm going to learn how to do this. Those things that are on your someday list, they are there because they're dreams that you are meant to be living. They are things that you are meant to have, be, or do in your life. So where is life asking you to step up? So this is a great place for you to pause the video, go back to your piece of paper, answer that question for yourself. See what you're learning about yourself. Okay, we're going to move on to question number 4. And question number 4 sounds like this. I have to read it because it's kind of long. Okay, who would you be and what would you do in your present life if you stopped worrying about what other people think? Yeah, let me read that one again. Okay, who would you be and what would you do in your present life if you stopped worrying about what other people think? So, this is a big one. I've got a couple little things to say about it, but it is a big topic, and I would really encourage you to do some thinking about this. Talk to a friend about it. Talk to your own coach about it. And what I want to say is more that I bet that you have your own little brand of genius. There is something that you're great at, something you're super opinionated about, something you're very passionate about. And maybe you kind of keep it under wraps. Maybe you don't tell anybody that that's your secret little hobby that you do. Maybe you've got something that you're just kind of nervous. Like, what if they knew? What if they knew that I was an excellent artist? What would people think? What would people think if maybe they found out that I wrote poetry? What would people think if you knew that as an adult, I take dance classes every week? It's true, I do. But what it is your own special little creative something, your own way of doing things, your own opinion. And so often we put this big garbage can lid right on top of our talents, our creative genius, our opinions, our gifts, because we don't want to make any waves. We don't want people to think that we're weird. We don't want to be that round peg in a square hole. So, where is it for you? What would you do? Who would you be? And how would you be if you stopped worrying about what other people thought? So, I'm going to leave you with that one. I bet you've got lots to think about there and lots to write about too, right? Okay, our final question, question number 5. This one's a little bit of a different thought. And the reason I'm talking about this one, you'll see. When was the last time, and again I'm reading it because it's long, when was the last time you witnessed an unexpected kindness? And what can you do to be a little bit kinder today, both to yourself and in the world? And so why am I asking you this question? There's 2 reasons. The first is, life is so much better. People are so much kinder than we give them credit for. We just forget to look. Now, when we start to change our focus and we look for those positive things, we look for those kind acts that are happening all around us, we feel better about the world, and we feel better about our life, and we feel so much happier. So that's the thing. What do you choose to focus on? When you start to focus on kindness and compassion, you're going to find that the world is a much nicer, more welcoming place than you maybe started thinking about. Cynicism is a pretty big deal these days. We're pretty cynical about a lot of things in the world. But if you choose to shift your focus and look for those places where there's wonderful, kind, compassionate things happen, you're going to feel a whole heck of a lot better, a whole heck of a lot happier, and more fulfilled in your life. So there you have it. There's my 5 questions for you for today. I hope you take this video. I hope it's useful for you. Rewind it, pause, answer those questions for yourself, and tell me in the comments. Tell me what you're learning about yourself. Tell me, what are those things that you want to take on? What's that new chance that you want to take? Where are you starting to see parts of yourself that you'd forgotten? Talented, amazing parts of yourself that maybe you had forgotten a little bit about. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.